Vlogtober Day 21. Today we will be here in Colonial Williamsburg, which you can probably tell by the building behind me. Hey, Lucas. And we're going to meet up with my friends, Daphne and Tom. They literally live here and come here every day. So they're going to give us like an exclusive behind the scenes sort of tour and tell us more information. And it's going to be really fun. Apparently at Colonial Williamsburg, it's really about immersing yourself into that time period, going to the different trades of like different people in different shops. So you have like the tailor, you have a wig maker, etc. Asking them questions and just learning a lot about the period and just stuff you didn't learn in the history books, you know, like a little bit more information. And we arrived here at Colonial Williamsburg kind of late. We're here about 3 o'clock and it closes at 5 because Lucas had a work deal today.
It is.
So we're gonna try to see how much we can get accomplished within those 2 hours. So I would say the goals are to talk with some tradespeople because it's kind of like Disneyland.
Yeah.
And actually like St. John's yesterday, where like you talk to the people and like their stories is kind of how you learn the history.
Right.
And it's cool because here they like stay in character, but they're also not in character. So like they'll come in and out, which is kind of nice instead of like, I feel like at Disneyland, you're trying to, you know, ask them something and they will stay in character the whole time. So that's why I kind of love it here. And then we did not go to George Wyth's house last time we were here.
Right.
And obviously, if you've ever seen a vlog of mine, you know I'm a huge George Wyth fan. Signer of Declaration of Independence, professor at William & Mary, Thomas Jefferson's mentor, all the things.
All the things.
And then tonight we have the Colonial Williamsburg ghost tour.
Apparently there's the most haunted house in Virginia or in the US is here.
I guess it's like
Something
on
like
the
that.
East Coast or something like
Yeah.
that. So
we'll see.
Makes for a good ghost story. But on these ghost tours, they don't let you film, but I will take pictures and then we'll tell you all about it afterwards. Oh, and also if you don't know what Colonial Williamsburg is, it's located in Williamsburg, Virginia, and it's the world's largest living history museum. So it is old Colonial Williamsburg, back when it was the capital of Virginia. Some original buildings and some restored buildings, which is really, really cool. And you can walk around and talk to different people, experience things from that period of time, which is really, really cool. So you got the architecture, you've got shows, you've got the tradespeople, you've got food. They actually have like actual like colonial food places here. And it's like a total immersive experience. It's a public street, but you can't get inside the buildings unless you buy a ticket from the ticket office.
You tend not to see this done. You see this done in silk. So shags are done in silk or in mohair. You tend not to do it in wool because the wool fibers will felt, will interlock together and just not be very attractive. There is ever-changing commoner's clothing. And it starts to become really easy to start documenting that in the 1780s, 1790s in a way that they were less represented before that. And then it's also interesting that very quickly, 1815 to about 1830, there's even radical changes in the techniques that tailors are using even before the sewing machine.
Fashion going the other direction once the U.S. became its own country?
There is this question asked in the 1790s, right? This time when there still is, it's kind of called the early federal period. Mm-hmm. But this idea of, or the question being asked, what is an American to wear? I mean, this is also a time that what is an American is also being answered, right? What does that mean? Because we have these 13 states now unified. For a lot of people, even by the end of the American Revolution, the idea of an American had kind of disappeared. They go back to being a Virginian.
Okay, we're going into the wig maker, right?
Yes.
What's good about the wig maker?
Well, for one thing, they're using Mr. Charlton's actual account books.
So there's a real account book from Williamsburg?
Yes. From the wig maker who made wigs. They're making a Jefferson wig right now based on one of the wigs in the account book, so it is an exact match.
Oh, that's what's so cool about this shop. Yes. Okay, it's a must.
I'm on the final row of the wig that I'm building for display in the Peyton Randolph house. And I've been working on it. I calculated out like 43 hours, but since July.
Where do they get the human hair?
People.
Yeah. No, but
It's true. It's true.
people.
Mostly young women in Northern Europe who are just growing out their hair and selling it for supplemental income. So taking good care of your hair to make sure that it's going to get you a good price, covering it under a cap, sort of what my colleague and I are wearing, and eating a good farm-to-table diet to have real good stuff. You can get between a few days to a few months worth of income. We also work with horsehair. So the dark horsehair is local, and here in hot, humid Virginia, we don't really want any local hair. We prefer the white sample of Chinese horsehair, and then Angora goat hair between the two of those, which is coming from Turkey or the Ottoman Empire. So it's all imported for that finest possible quality, and you might be surprised that we are putting in all that effort to get all this hair from so far away. But we use England kind of like Amazon in that they have everything that we could possibly need. They have ties all across the world to every leg of trade everywhere, basically. So as British citizens here in the colonies, we expect to have that same sort of access. Made to Stephen Seal's measures, which, yeah, he's got a big head.
It looks big.
Yeah, it's pretty large. He does actually shave his head, which is why you don't have a whole lot of long mud flap back here, which we often use to cover up our colleagues' actual hair. But this is 30 wefts of 18-inch human hair. You can see that it's been sitting here in the shop a little bit, so it's gotten a little messed up. But it's actually only 6 ounces altogether. So it's very lightweight. And there are probably 5 or 6 different, I'd say 6 different colors of hair that went into this. This is all scrap hair, basically from previous projects in which we finished what we needed to weave, but we didn't finish the hackle. We put it downstairs and waited for a poor intern to put this on. And I am the poor intern who has had to make the wig out of it. It's very nice, so I'm happy.
We just got out of the wig maker shop, and it was so fun. And that there are levels here at Colonial Williamsburg. So you start out as an intern, and then or an apprentice, and then you can move up depending. And so, are there like for the different types of trades? Are there different ways to move up?
Each trade's master really creates the protocol and or curriculum, whatever they want to term it. I'm not sure what they term it, but so each one comes up with how they're going to become from apprentice into journeyman.
Okay.
And on average, it can take 5 to 7 years.
I don't know which trade that I would do. Do you know what trade you would do?
Some people have flipped around, but I would probably do the kitchen. Historic
Oh, that
foodways.
would be really fun. I don't know, is there any like face character for like a woman here? I know that they have like Thomas Jefferson and stuff, but do they have any women that?
Well, they have the nation builders. So Thomas Jefferson is going to be in a different category than a lot of.
Okay.
There's the nation builders, which he is.
There aren't any women
And they
in nation
are-
builders though.
Yes, there are.
Yes.
So you have Lady Washington.
Ooh, okay, Martha.
You do.
Could
and
be
you
Martha.
You have Jane Vogue, who was a tavern keeper here in Williamsburg.
Ooh,
of
now that
Arms,
I'd be into that.
is the nation builder. They are true historians, and they're just studying the one character.
That would
And
be
they do it for years.
a dream. Okay.
So like,
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my new dream now.
yes.
Is to become obsessed with a single person and then become that person.
Yes.
This is so
George
fun.
Webb, he embodies him.
This is such good insight because last time I was at Colonial Williamsburg, it was like the first time I was here and I was very much just like doing it as a tourist, but there's a level more that you can take, which is to have conversations, ask questions, and like just be really
always
much more
more.
interactive. Yeah.
Always more.
And there's so much to do here. So I think the season pass is totally worth it because you need to come multiple times just because you learn something new every time. Oh, I just love it. If you love history, this is like the place you have to be. I don't know, like any
why
other
I
way to
moved
put
here.
it.
I literally moved here because I love it.
That's why Daphne moved here.
So I'm a big advocate for
It's
this
like,
whole.
it's seriously a
minutes
dream.
From everything, right? So
Yeah.
we're an hour from Richmond. So we have
Yeah.
this on our doorstep every day, but then we have Richmond and we have the Charles City, all the homes on the James River. And
Yes.
there's something, we're an hour from Scotchtown.
It's dreamy.
It is
I
dreamy.
love it. When I found out that it existed, I was like, that is the Disneyland for historical people, like
It
people
is.
who love history. Plus the architecture and just the way
Oh my
it's set
gosh,
up is
yeah.
so aesthetically pleasing. So I guess John D. Rockefeller Jr., he's to thank as well.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the money, John.
Yes. And we should shout out the Mars Corporation because Forest Mars has picked
Oh.
up that sort of
Love that.
grab
Yep.
the baton. whatever you
Exactly.
wanna say.
Someone has to do it.
But they're big money people, and we're all super grateful.
Yeah.
But every donor, even if you donate $25 or $50 or buy a season pass,
Yeah.
that's what this runs on our donations.
Okay.
That's how
good
they
to
keep
know.
it going.
Oh yeah, your coffin. Originally the size of the lid.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
it just went bleep. So it turned
Not as
into
good as
a
it could be.
beef
Not
dish
as good as
Chicago
it could
tongue
be.
piece.
I think it's impressive.
though.
So that's
You don't eat it.
It's hard as a brick.
Okay, that's just to help it cook.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just a container.
That's all a coffin does, right? It's a box, you put something in it and it moves from point A to point B. That's what coffin means for us. It's a container.
Wow.
Doesn't have any connection with death quite yet. That's a very modern idea.
Because that coffee pastry took the full efforts of
I was
both
going to say,
Abby
how
and
long
I.
does this whole thing from start to finish usually
Well,
take?
I think we took it out about a half hour ago, 45 minutes ago.
We started at about 9:30 this morning. And that it took 5 pounds of flour to be able to make it. A little over 5 pounds of flour, to be honest.
Wow.
And 5 pounds of flour, not even the expensive white flour, but just normal whole wheat flour, could feed a Virginian household for a week or more. And we used it in one dish, out of one course, out of one meal, out of one day, and it doesn't even get eaten. You throw it away at the end.
We are going into George Wyth's house. This is one of the most, well, it is the most original structure in Colonial Williamsburg, and you know how I feel about George Wyth. He was wrongfully murdered by his grandnephew, George Wyth Sweeney. But, oh my gosh, we're going in.
The evidence is circumstantial. Nobody's ever convicted.
But George himself said my nephew poisoned me.
In so many words, yeah.
Wow.
So it's kind of one of those things where we do have to like put the disclaimer that like nobody
This is
ever
supposedly
what happens, but also like totally.
Yeah, that's totally.
You excited for George Wyth?
Yeah, I can't wait.
This is the green.
This is the most expensive color back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we found out at
George Washington's Mount Vernon, they told us
Vernon, yeah.
that, because his dining room was also green. Didn't they say it was good for digestion as well?
It is, but I think and it's also extremely dangerous to make.
Oh, is there like poison in it?
Yeah, there's Yes, yeah, because it's the same thing in the palace.
So this is the study, so maybe Thomas Jefferson, Henry Clay, James Monroe, right? All those people might have been in here with
They
him.
might have, and he's got another room upstairs.
Ooh,
where
so they might have been up there too.
There's a little tinkering upstairs too.
Ooh, this is so fun. What do you think of the pink?
It's pretty cool, actually.
I know.
Kind of looks like coral.
It does. This is an interesting wallpaper considering it's like period piece, because I feel like it could be used modern.
Yeah, it does look modern.
Yeah. All the paint color in here is actually what the paint color was, but the wallpaper they're just guessing, but it is period appropriate. This floor does kind of look original though. Okay, here's another room that could be a study, so they also could have been in this room. So definitely a lot of historical figures and historical things came from these meetings. If you haven't seen a vlog of mine before, you don't even know what I'm talking about, but George Wyth was the law professor at William & Mary for Thomas Jefferson, Henry Clay, James Monroe, all these like, you know, people back in the day, and moved to Richmond when it became the capital and was murdered by his grandnephew, so poisoned, but he got off. Long story, but if you want to read I Am Murdered, it's a book that talks about it. It's really good. There it is. He's also a signer of the Declaration of Independence. This is the staircase. This is the banister that George Wyth, Thomas Jefferson, I think Marquis de Lafayette even, has touched. And now Lucas is touching it. This is a historical moment for everyone. Oh, it's happening. It's happening, everybody. Oh, it's happening. Wow.
Can you imagine trying to focus in here? Like on
No,
anything?
imagine waking up and you're just waking
I
up.
know.
and you're looking up.
Yeah, it does kind of hurt your eyes.
It's very, yeah, because the two patterns going on. Ooh, okay, now I like this room.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep in that.
I like this room.
I could wake up in it, but not sleep.
Wow, this is
Doesn't it look like
fun.
bats?
Yeah, it does look like bats.
Imagine
Oh
if
yeah.
was thinking it was like Holly Berry.
Imagine if you had a candle, just one candle, that you think there were bats all in it.
Oh my gosh.
That looks like Holly
accurate.
Berry with the
They
little
do. That's why I said
Holly Berry
Christmas
on the
originally.
edges.
Wow.
Because it does kind of look like.
Yeah. Okay, they said if Thomas Jefferson ever spent the night, it might have been in here.
Mr. Weathers, who portrays Wyth,
Yeah.
did tell me that they're not certain that any of the students actually stayed here or not, but there are indications that they might have based on some of the stories that have come out.
Slumber
But they
party.
don't know for sure. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Tom's a ox. What's it called? He's got the goods. Oh. Yes, Tom is a ox whisperer.
That is a big animal. I love that. Oh wow. Just
Wow.
a branch.
Hey, bud. The video isn't doing it justice. This is a large animal. There's reference of the size there.
Hey besties.
This is Tom's best friend. So tonight for dinner, we are here at Food for Thought, which was recommended to me by a bunch of people on Instagram. Apparently they have good vegan options, so Let's see. They actually had 2 vegan specials today. They had the acorn squash and the vegan meatloaf. So Lucas got the meatloaf, I got the squash. I'm totally excited to try both of them. Comfort food, kind of like on theme with Colonial Williamsburg, which I appreciate. Also, this restaurant's really cool. It's like about all the thinkers throughout American history. Interesting theming. But our first course is a flatbread. So if you're vegan, they bring you a flatbread. If you're not, they bring you a whole basket of bread before your meal. So we're gonna enjoy some of that. Lucas is trying his vegan meatloaf for the first time.
I haven't had meatloaf in a long time. It tastes a little bit more like burger. I kind of like that. So
I was gonna say, you love burgers.
Try
So.
that.
Okay, here we go. Acorn squash. It has more of a sweet flavor because it has like brown butter on top. Vegan butter, I'm assuming. But yeah, the mushroom, like wild rice and the citrus really good. Interesting thing about this restaurant is that every table comes with these thought-provoking questions. So I pulled one out to ask Lucas. Share something you have never done but would like to try.
what I would like to try someday is taking an actual vacation where I do like nothing for a while, because I feel like the longest I've ever taken is maybe a day or an afternoon, but I'm always kind of working here and there, like on my computer or on my phone. So taking like proper time off, that'd be cool to try.
I feel like that's such a good answer because I feel the exact same way. I actually don't know if I've ever taken a vacation in my whole life. No, I probably did when I was a kid, but as an adult, I've pretty much always been chasing a kind of entrepreneurial situation. So like as soon as I graduated from high school, I was trying to be an actor. And so with that comes the idea you're always working. Honestly, you're like, oh, what's the opportunity here? What's the acting class here? What can I do here? So I never really had like a, I guess, normal job, if that's even how to describe it, where like you can clock out. I've had jobs, obviously, but my dream was always in the back of my mind, and like working towards that was always at the forefront. And then that continued into, well, what I do today, content creation and stuff. Like I'm filming at a restaurant where I'm eating. You know what I mean? Like I'm working all the time, especially Vlogtober. I'm like working every day because I'm filming every day and editing every day. But like even still with like Instagram and YouTube, it's like I'm always either scripting something, editing something, or filming something. So it could be interesting to take off a week. That would be crazy. I don't know, maybe I'd be bored. I told Lucas, like, I just feel like, I've told him this before, I feel like I'd want to film everything still. I love filming everything, so it's weird. Does it work? I don't know. But it could be interesting to try. We should do that for sure. I guess my answer would be, honestly, walking around Colonial Williamsburg today, I just thought about how I really want to be a tour guide one day. Not necessarily there, but in general. Just to like take a group around and like tell historical facts in some way, shape, or form someday. I feel like that would be really fun. And I told Lucas that's like my dream retirement job, is like to be a tour guide somewhere at some point and just be passionate about whatever. I think that'd be really cool.
Raspberry port. Here we go.
It's like raspberry coconut.
Very good. It has that raw vibe.
Oh, okay.
Good amount of flavor. Nice crust.
Is it possible to go wrong with dessert? Ooh, yeah, I don't think so. Wow, I wonder what this is made out of. I think cashews. It's very good. It's a big dessert too, honestly. We are back at Colonial Williamsburg for their haunted ghost tour. They won't allow filming, but I'm going to tell you all about it afterwards with photos.
If we survive. We survive.
Are you excited for it, Lucas?
I am, because they said they have like the most haunted house in North America or something.
I'm excited for it because the light just changed. There we go. I'm excited for it because I loved Yorktown, and Colonial Williamsburg is similar. And also it's the same company, so I'm thinking it's going to be really good. Also, we know a lot about Colonial Williamsburg, so it'll be cool to see what kind of like ghost or haunted stories that they tell about it. Just a different perspective at night too, which I'm really excited to see what it looks like at night. We've never walked through it at night because we only came during the day, the time before this. But next time we see you, we might be very scared. Or maybe not, I don't know. Okay, we just finished with the Colonial Williamsburg ghost tour.
I think that was the best one yet.
Okay. First of all, I took a picture in one of the most haunted houses in America, which is the Peyton Randolph house, and we saw a little face in the corner, and no one else had a picture like that.
Yeah, we even took a bunch after that and couldn't get it.
Yeah, we showed her and she was like, oh yeah, it must be this. And she pulled up pictures on her phone that she had taken where you could literally see an outline of a ghost little girl.
Yeah, but also hers was in different windows than ours.
Yeah, hers was a different window than ours, but...
Yeah, which means it's even more freaky.
Oh no. That's the first time I've ever been slightly scared about something, but I think it's because there was like a few stories in, and also that house is like one of the most haunted. Like so many bad things have happened in that house that she was telling us. But anyways, it kind of scared me. So this is my first ghost tour I've been kind of scared on. So that was, their like cemetery is really interesting. I want to go there. I haven't been there before.
Yeah, and then...
there's like little kids buried in there and stuff. Yikes. And then, gosh, I'm trying to remember.
The governor's palace, how there was a person with a candle going from window to window.
Yeah, that was pretty freaky. Like all of these stories are by people who worked at Colonial Williamsburg and like freaky stuff that kind of has happened to them, or historically of people who owned the houses previously.
Yeah.
Because Colonial Williamsburg, I guess, you know, it's over time now they kind of own most of the buildings, but not always. Some people actually lived in the historical buildings, you know. So Richmond, Churchill, Yorktown, Colonial Williamsburg. How would you rank those ghost tours?
I think this one's number 1.
Yeah.
I think
Yorktown's number 2. It has to be. Yeah, Richmond maybe last, but again, we should maybe do a different neighborhood. Maybe it's just the Churchill neighborhood wasn't hitting as strong. But like also this is like historical like
locations.
Yeah, like Yorktown was like Yorktown, and like Colonial Williamsburg is the entire area of Colonial Williamsburg. So I think, you know, they kind of win just based on the fact that it's so condensed and like they're so historical that like crazy things have happened.
Yeah.
You know, it was a really good day. It was so much fun. I had a great time today, actually. I found out so much more. Like, this is my second time here, and now I have so many more tips for, like, my parents are going to visit in November, and we're going to come here, so I'm like, ooh, good tips for when they come. Takeaways. Talking with the people who work here is so much fun, asking them questions. I was so, like, timid, I think, when I first came here. I didn't ask anyone anything. Remember, we just like observed other people and we're like, okay. Now I feel so comfortable here, just kind of like chatting it up, and I'm excited because my dad loves talking to interpreters.
Yeah.
He's obsessed, so he's gonna really love it. Tomorrow we leave for our trip.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Which is gonna be so fun. Lucas and I are doing a 3-day trip into the mountains, so we're gonna be doing a lot of fun stuff. A lot of cozy vlogs for us at the cabin that we rented. It comes with a fireplace and a hot tub. We're gonna bring like some cozy, delicious food and like watch movies, and it's gonna be really, really fun. So get ready for that. And then if you want to catch up with Vlogtober because you're watching this and you're like, what? There's more videos? Oh my gosh. I'll put the playlist over Lucas's face right here, and then the Richmond playlist here if you want to check out more Richmond stuff in case you're interested in that. And I'm so grateful for everybody who watches any of my videos, and especially if you've been following along in Vlogtober. I think that's just fantastic. It really has, and it's 21 days deep already. Only 10 more, so that's exciting. But yeah, it's been such a great month. And well, again, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
See you then.
Okay, bye.
Bye.